That is not thinking in English. That is thinking about English. Thinking in English and thinking about English are two different things. If you want to think about English, you can learn things in Sinhala. If you want to think in English, you have to go to complete total immersion. Hi there, I'm Suranga from English Win. Today it is total immersion. And in total immersion, what we do is we tell stories or we do so different things. Why? For you to be totally immersed in the language, target language. Totally immersed means go into the language. So you are learning English language. If you want to speak in a good way, with a good flow, you have to be immersed in the language. Then if I'm trying to teach you English language, especially the spoken part, if I always go to Sinhala, English Sinhala, English Sinhala, English Sinhala, English Sinhala, then your base becomes Sinhala language. And then you come to Sinhala language, and that is the basement, and you try to think about something in English. That is not thinking in English. That is thinking about English. Thinking in English and thinking about English are two different things. If you want to think about English, you can learn things in Sinhala. If you want to think in English, you have to go to complete total immersion. So today I am going to, this is I think 112, the story. Yeah, so today's story is the Fox's Tale. Fox's Tale. That is the pages come of a very old book. You can see Fox's Tale. I'll show you the picture. This is the picture. You can see a fox. What has happened? Shall you see? The Fox's Tale. A fox was caught in a trap. Trap, you know what trap is? Trap. You cannot escape when you are trapped. Caught in a trap. When the fox was walking somewhere in the forest, he caught in a trap. People set traps to catch animals. You know that you must have heard of that. So then when that guy was walking in the forest, he was caught in a trap. He tried to get away. Get away means going away from that situation. Get away means basically, you understand what get away is. From a bad situation. If you want to avoid a bad situation, you have to go away from that. Get away from. Yeah, I have to get away from this situation. I have to get away from these people, the problems. So he tried hard to get away. Not hardly, hard. He tried hard to get away. And at last his tail came off. At last, finally, his tail came off. Come off. The pages come off. Clear? Pages have come off. You understand coming off? Now, it is going to come off. This page is going to come off. Charas. No, I'm not going to do that. So, tried hard to get away, and at last his tail came off. Tail came off means now you can see the tail. The tail is in the trap. He is going away. He has no tail now. Why? He was trapped and it was the tail, and he has to leave his tail and go. Leave his tail behind and go. Yeah. His tail came off. He was free. Now he was free. Okay, now he is free, but no tail, without tail. But he had no tail. He was free, but he had no tail. The other foxes would laugh when the fox without a tail came by. The other foxes would laugh. They would laugh. It will happen, fox thought. The other foxes would laugh when the fox without a tail came by. If all the foxes would give up their tails, he said, then no one would notice. Oh. Now the thing is, the other foxes would laugh when the fox without a tail came by. Come by. By means near. If this fox goes near other foxes, they would laugh at this fox. Oh, guy, you have no tail. Ah, that's really funny. And they would say different things. He knows that. The other foxes would laugh when the fox without a tail came by. If all the foxes would give up their tails, oh, there is one way to avoid this situation. There is one way to go away from this situation. One way to get away from this situation. That is, the other foxes should lose their tails. This fox has to remove all the tails of other foxes. In other words, there should be no fox with a tail. Now he is trying to find a way to remove the tails of all the foxes. So all the foxes would become no tail foxes, that is, foxes without tail. Yeah. The other foxes would laugh when the fox without a tail came by. If all the foxes would give up their tails, he said, then no one would notice. Yeah. Then no one would notice. Oh, a fox without a tail. Yeah. If all the foxes have no tails, so it was okay. It becomes normal. Yeah. He hated to be laughed at. He hated to be laughed at. I cannot see it because I cannot see some words. He hated to be laughed at. He hated. I hate. Do you like black coffee? I hate it. I don't like it. Hate means don't like. Love, hate. Love, antonym hate. Hate, antonym love. Opposite. He hated to be laughed at. He hated to be laughed at. Be laughed at, passive voice. When you learn passive voice, you would understand what it is. He hated to be laughed at. He did not like other foxes laughing at him. He thought and he thought. He thought and he thought. He thought and he thought. Oh, what can we do? What can I do? He thought and he thought, wondering how he could stop their laughter. Wondering how he could stop their laughter. He tried to find a way to stop that laughter. Laughter means the noun. Laughter, laughing. Yeah, laughter. At last, he hit upon a plan. Hit. Came to his mind. Yeah, a brainwave we call it. A brainwave. An idea, novel idea, new idea. At last he hit upon a plan. Hit upon a plan means something came to his mind. That is a new idea, a brainwave. At last he hit upon a plan. So he called a meeting of all the foxes. He called a meeting of all the foxes. He wanted other foxes to come at a place and a meeting place, and there was a meeting, a gathering, assembly, or whatever we call it. At last he hit upon a plan, so he called a meeting of all the foxes. So he called a meeting. You can call a meeting, good English. So he called a meeting of all the foxes. Why do you not give up your tails? Why don't you give up your tails? Why don't you give up your tails? Can be a suggestion, can be an invitation. When people come to our houses, we would say, why don't you sit? Why don't you sit? That is not a question. That is an invitation. So I want you to sit, a suggestion, something like that. Why don't you give up your tails? In other words, give up your tails. That's the same idea. Why don't you give up your tails? He said. They are of no use to you. They are of no use. Of no use, the phrase. They are of no use to you. They are of no use. It is of no use. This book is of no use. No, it is really useful. Why do you not give up your tails, he said. They are of no use to you. What is the use of the tail? The real conversation. What is the use of this tail to you? When you think about your mouth, you use the mouth to eat, your ears to hear, and your nose to smell. Everything, every part of your body is really useful, but tail is not useful. That guy was going on lecturing all the other foxes. They would listen attentively. Oh, yes, 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 yes. They said, yeah, the foxes said. Not all the foxes, most of the foxes say, yeah, that's a good idea, that's a novel idea. We didn't think it that way. We haven't thought it that way. This is the first time that we have thought it that way. They said, aha. They are ugly things. They are ugly. They are ugly things. He said that they are ugly. Oh, yeah, really, in a way. Foxes thought, yeah, that's it. They are ugly. Bad tail. That's a sort of a separate part, basically. Can be seen separately. And tail. The people have no tail. Yeah, they thought, yeah, they seem to be the most advanced creatures in the world. People, human beings, they have no tails. Maybe we are just like human beings. When we have no tails, maybe, just like a very crafty politicians, the fox can plant sort of an idea in the brains of foxes. Oh, just think about a human being, the most advanced people. Yeah. So, advanced creatures. So, therefore, why don't we? Being without a tail. Then again, so they are ugly things and they are heavy. Oh, another reason, they are heavy. Yeah. Unwanted, unnecessary weight to carry. Unnecessary weight. Because they have to hunt. They have to run to find their prey. So it's really troubling to them. Troublesome. It's bad. It's annoying. Yeah. They may be caught in, then again, they may be caught in traps. Fourth reason, they may be caught in traps. The people have set traps to catch animals. So maybe your tail is your vulnerable point. Vulnerable point. Your Achilles heel. You just go to the idiom Achilles heel and find that. The meaning? Achilles heel is the point where the thing you can be attacked. Your weakness. That is what we call Achilles heel. There is a very beautiful story behind this idiom, Achilles heel. I have done a video about Achilles heel, but this is not the time to talk about Achilles heel. Achilles heel is your vulnerable point. The point that somebody can attack you. They are heavy. Then again, they may be caught in traps. Yeah, if you have tail, there is a tendency of your being caught in a trap. Yeah. So you see, you would be much better without them. So you say, you would be much better without them. You would be much better without them. If you have no tails, it is advantageous to you. It is really a good thing to you. Yeah. Next page. Then you see, I have been much happier since I gave up my tail. Oh, I have been much happier. Those days I am not happy. But now I am happy. Much happier. I'm really happy now. Why? Since I gave up my tail. Since I gave up my tail. I gave up my tail. He's not going to talk about the trap and he lost his tail. He says, I gave up my tail. He is trying to show them that I cut my tail because it is a sort of an unnecessary thing to my body. Yeah. Well, everybody was listening to him. All the young foxes and sort of guys. But there are old foxes in this set of foxes. All foxes are really intelligent, and they have gone through a lot of things in life. They have gone through thick and thin. They have faced good things and they have faced bad things. Then they have that sort of experiences. So then an old fox said, well, said an old fox. It sounds very nice, he said. Old fox said, and old fox said, it sounds very nice. It sounds means it is very nice. It is a good idea. It sounds mean it seems to be. Yeah. We can see that it is really nice. It sounds very nice. And I'm glad you are so happy without a tail. It sounds really nice. It's really a good thing. It's really a good thing. I like that, old fox said. And at the same time, he said, I'm glad you are. I'm happy. Glad means happy. I'm happy that you are so happy without a tail. I'm really happy. Because you are really happy without a tail. So I like that. I'm really, really happy. You lost your tail because you are now happy. It sounds very nice and I'm glad you're so happy without a tail. But I don't think, what does it say? But I don't think you want us to give up our tails. You still had a tail of your own. But I like the idea. Idea is really good. The best idea. Yeah, that is said. What you say is true. The tail is not a good thing to us. Everything is okay. And I like you are now happier. So I like the idea because you are happier without the tail. But I don't think you would want us to give up our tails. But there is another problem, yeah. But I don't think you would want us to give up our tails. You would not suggest us to give up our tails if you still had a tail of your own. If you still means at the moment even, if you still have your own tail, if you still had a tail of your own, if you have your tail, I don't think that you would tell us to remove our tail. You want us to remove our tail because you have no tail. That is the thing. So all fox said is nice. Yeah, idea is good, but I don't think that you would say it if you had your own tail. Yeah, that is the story. So, beautiful story, but the thing is actually what we can learn from this story is there are people around us even, not foxes. And they would suggest you, don't work so hard. It is useless working hard. And, right, live happily. Be content with what you have. That's a good thing. That's a really good idea. It is even in religions, whatever it is. But you have to work hard. Working hard is really a good thing. But people would say, don't work so hard. Yeah, be happy and be free. Yeah, things like that. Some people would suggest different things because people are thinking and people are giving pieces of advice to people wearing sort of spectacles, their own way of thinking. And we have to be very careful and we have to think about who we are. Everybody's opinions are not for us. You have to think about yourself. People would say, different things. So you have to filter through. You have to think about, you have to have sort of your filters. When people suggest things, you should have a good filter to filter all these things, to get the idea, to read between the lines. Yeah, you have to read between the lines. Read between the line means, so that is an idiom, reading between the lines. That is, when you read, you can see the lines, you get an idea. But there are things between the lines. You cannot see things in the lines. So therefore, read between the line means you should try to find what is unseen, what you cannot see in your life. That is it. So if you like this video, please subscribe and give us a like, and share the video, and most importantly, comment even in Sinhala. So this is a very good way for you to practice things that you learn. So maybe from the story or whatever, write something using words, phrases or whatever in my comment section. So then you practice your language then. So that is a good way to improve your language skills. Just write things. Okay, then bye.